Welcome as the Michael Douglas trilogy continues. Welcome back to Screen Fiend, and this is Basic Instinct, the movie in which, to me, is the best out of the three, out of the trilogy. It is remotely insane, but highly intriguing. This is the story of basically a rock and roll former person who had stature politically as well. What's up, Bear? You trying to get beat down in some Madden? Y'all turning me into a Madden junkie. All right, after this video, then we'll tell you. I'll tell you up in some Madden. But anyway, this movie brought a lot of things to light. It showed the world that Sharon Stone was a tremendous actress, even though people were just in her for her physical looks. Her skills was on full display in this film. This is what you would call a psychological thriller, which led to a real life murder by the man who was mentally ill, who fell so in love with this movie, he actually carried out the act in real life. Lucas McNaughton, who's rotting away in jail for the rest of his life. Now, back to this movie. The film was very strange because with the amount of evidence that could have been determined, what's up? The amount of evidence that was in this film is like paramount. That they did not know that this woman did it. She knew she would be a suspect, and what made it interesting is that she wrote a book based on how this whole murder was going to be played out in the film. Well, in the opening act that actually happened, which makes her the prime suspect because it played out just the way she wrote about it years ago. So now it's like, did she do it, or did somebody so obsessed who had a copy of her book decide to do it? So then, as the movie goes on, you start to doubt, is it actually her? Because she seems so in control of everything and so narcissistic. She has over $100 million from an inheritance from her family, who mysteriously died, that just came and went real quick without anyone even noticing it. That her parents both went at the same time. That no one kind of noticed that that might have been her too. That she's the sole heir of everything. So now, yes, because when you're young and you're watching it, you're just like, man, she's just crazy. But no, she was a psychological. When the older you get and you watch the film, it's amazing when you watch films when you're young and you watch them when you're older. You see a lot because now you understand what things mean. So when you look at this, she had 2 degrees in psychology and basically literature. So this police interrogational scene wasn't going to be too much for her. She done went through it already. There was a basic instinct too that did not involve either of the characters, and it was completely nonsense. Complete nonsense. And is not a part of the Michael Douglas trilogy. Now, the ice pick was the final touching of the blow. And as Douglas, who's going through his own vices in the movie, once again, when you watch movies when you're older, and then when you're younger, you start to see things that you didn't even notice. You know, he's a recovering alcoholic. He's under investigation by internal affairs for a shooting that took place that he got off on, but he's got to go through therapy. You know, he used to be doing coke, you know, drinking, so he had to give up all of these things, including smoking, because of a shooting that went left. Yes, it was best, and this is the Fatal Attraction is one. We're doing the review for this one. Then we're gonna do the third film in the Michael Douglas trilogy. And the third film in the Michael Douglas trilogy is definitely Disclosure. But this is another four-star movie, epic, and its time is intriguing, draws you in, intelligently written, even though it's so preposterous how this could actually happen in real life. That this person would have been caught immediately. But still, a very intriguing film. Highly, strongly recommended. Well, it keeps you on the edge of your feet all the way to the end of the film. And you still kind of don't know until the very end of everything. Well, Douglas is Douglas. Right. I just went and rented this movie, and then here it is on Netflix. So, yeah, I look like an idiot. But then the rental's only $1, so you know, you know. Oh, now he's tired. See that? See that? Told you, folks. They ain't want to play. Now Bear's tired. The Bear's got to go hibernate. I retire him. I'm only up because I took a nap. Normally, right now, I'll be trying to get some sleep. But Douglas, no matter the movie, seem to have the same prowess. He's a guy that always wears a suit, and like it would take and blow my mind if I remember a movie Michael Douglas was in that he wasn't in a suit. I'll be really scratching my brain to try to find out what movie that would be. So Douglas shows up, right? And he first time he meets this chick, and it's like, okay, here it is, Michael Douglas. He sees a chick, she's hot, no matter what his situation is. Douglas got to take her down. So he's got to bang this chick. You know, she's in. Here's a girl who's up for a possible murder with an ice pick, a multimillionaire woman, and all this under investigation. And Douglas is thinking, I can't wait to bang this, bro. Again, that's the theory. And most people see it as this. Because the audience is thinking the same thing. Man, I ought to bang that chick. But when you get older and you watch films, you see all the things that's in detail with the film. Michael Douglas wants to sleep with her because he's a sexually driven I mean, deprived man right now. He used to be sleeping with the person who's now the police shrink. He used to sleep with her, and now he's been driven away from cigarettes, alcohol, and drugs. And here she is lighting up a cigarette in front of him as he's somebody who quit smoking. And because he quit smoking and all these other vices, he hadn't had sex since he broke up with the lady to shrink. He's ready to explode. Then here comes this chick. He likes her attitude. He loves the fact she has no filter. It's turning him on. So definitely check it out. No, that was Kevin Bacon. I think you're talking about Death Sentence with Kevin Bacon. Oh, Death Sentence was one of my favorite. There's two versions of the movie. In one version, he survives, but on the original version, he dies. Yep. No, Michael Douglas is on fire with these psychological thrillers. This was his calling. This is what really brought him out. Fatal Attraction was really put him on the map. Before that, Michael Douglas was doing adventure comedy, romantic comedy adventures, like Romancing the Stone and all that stuff. But Fatal Attraction, Basic Instinct, and Disclosure will always be the Michael Douglas trilogy you would want to start with. Well, Wall Street too. Wall Street's a classic, but that's just a standalone. Gordon Gekko. He just showed his prowess. But this was the true nature of Douglas as an actor. Well, this was a very intense film. The opening scene, you hadn't seen an opening scene like that since, like, it was like its own crazier version of Psycho. See, back in the days when movies and films were out, Perfect Murder with Haley Berry and Bruce Willis, a movie that was so wrongly cast, when Haley Berry had to sleep with the dudes, the producers, so she can get those movies, and she was getting roles that was meant for white women, but she was getting them. That was the crossover Haley Berry, and she started doing Gothica and started headlining her own movies and became a headliner. Now, now, let's take you through it there, because it was so well done at this time. People don't realize how films worked back in the 90s and late 80s. A lot of people didn't realize that once the movie was over, a next showing would happen in like 30 minutes in the same movie theater. So you would have another showing in the movie theater in like 30 more minutes. And people are like, well, that's crazy. Absolutely crazy. But it was how the movie business was ran. So if you missed something, people would stick around and wouldn't leave their seats because they're going to see the replay or they'll watch it again right back to back. The movie was that good, they had to see it again. So people would pay for one ticket that was less than $5. So you're spending basically $3 on a film. Unbelievable, right? You're spending $18 on a film for the whole year. I mean, for the whole, like, what, month? You're just spending $3 to go see a movie. Basic instinct. So, to get the people in the audience caught into the movie to where they would rewatch the movie again and again. In a psychological thriller, you have to make it so intriguing that people think, man, what did I miss in the beginning? And people normally go to the movies late. So, in the first opening, say, 3 minutes of the film, you see the big dramatic moment of the film. So when you're caught through the rest of the movie, you're trying to say, well, what happened? What did we miss? So you want to stay to watch the movie again. You say Madonna bit this movie so hard. That's funny you say that because basically the character that she's playing, Madonna was one of the people that was up for the role. That's very intriguing that you brought that up. Yeah.
Thought you didn't have any cigarettes.
Oh, I found some in my pocket. Would you like one?
She's trying to lure Douglas back into smoking. What you're witnessing here is a psychological tug of war of power between two alphas. She's drawn into Michael Douglas' character based on the fact that Michael Douglas is very determined and very alpha. It's another alpha seeking out another alpha and trying to just see if she could get him to succumb to her will or if he can get her to break. And she just loves the challenge and the game of it. So she's using her psychological abilities because she already knows, women already know if a man likes them or not. And of course, he likes her a lot. He wants to bang her. So now the game ensues. Can she break him? Of course, you guys like the famous leg crossing scene in the movie, and he's like, that sold the movie. It's a very well directed film. Excellent decisions were made in the cutting room, how they decided to do the interrogation. You see the political angle, you see everything. This is a 4-star movie out of 4. Now, this is the end of the second video. Don't forget to like the video and definitely hit the notification bell and all that stuff when you subscribe. To everybody else who subscribed, hope you enjoyed the video. The third one will be Disclosure, which is an epic film. Totally bring back a lot of memories with Michael Douglas and Demi Moore. We'll do that, and that will conclude the Michael Douglas trilogy. I'm out.